Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you guys had a great day today. Um, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content, sportsbook content. All these videos they get posted to our Reddit. I'll have it linked down below. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. Very important because a lot of stuff does change from the slate to these videos. And then I make updates with all the news. I just said that. And then you can ask me questions leading up to lock about the slate. I will always be in there to answer questions. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, get a hold of me on Twitter right here. I also post sportsbook plays. 2-0 start here for sportsbooks. And and if you're looking for more in-depth content, I'll have my Discord link down below where I give you guys sportsbook plays, videos going over the slates, core plays going over the slates, whole bunch of stuff that'll be linked down below. So yeah, I have been getting killed the past week in NBA. I'll tell you guys my lineup today. I want to see how Halliburton ended. He was a core play for me today. 5% owned, broke the slate, and it's not going to matter. I'm not going to cash because, one, I don't have Siakam. Two, Jonas Valanciunas absolutely killed me. Three, Jason Tatum is a fraud. And that's it. My core did pretty good today. It was Halliburton, 5%. Like I said, 5% ownership on Halliburton. Just wild to me. Halliburton, Jonas Valanciunas, and who was the other core piece? I can just take a look. It was Ty Jerome, of course. How did I forget that? He nuked. So, and then I told everyone there was a fourth. I forget what the fourth. No, I guess I only had three. Um, yeah. Hopefully you guys had a great night. Let's just get in this slate. Tatum killed me. No Siakam killed me. Even with unowned Halliburton 60 bomb, just unfortunate stuff. So big news here. Anthony Davis is going to be out. This is massive. Dorian Finney-Smith news also massive. Gabe Vincent, what is he? He is questionable. I would expect him to be out. So this Dorian Finney-Smith news is just massive. If we get him in, we'll see what they do with the starting lineup. Who did they play last game? They played the Sixers. Sixers are a smaller team without Joel Embiid, so they actually started Dorian Finney-Smith in the second half. So I would assume they were playing some Dorian, Rui Hachimura at the 5 with some Christian Kolokolo, and then Jackson Hayes played a bit. As well. I believe Kolokolo played a lot in the first half. Jackson Hayes got teens minutes. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I would imagine one of the big starts here going up against Washington. We'll see. They could go small here. So whoever starts at the 5 here is going to be a good value, especially if we get like Dorian Finney-Smith out. If Dorian's out, they're going to have to play Kolokolo. They're going to have to play Jackson Hayes. So like we could have some really good values here with the centers. Just keep an eye on the news. I'll make updates on Reddit when we do get the news. We could have some amazing values here. And then yeah, LeBron James is a piss nuke. He's probably going to be a must for me tomorrow. He is also listed as questionable. He could be out. They could just punt this game. If that's the case, Austin Reeves would be a must for me. Rui would look fantastic. Max Christie would be a great play. Like I said, keep an eye on the Dorian Finney-Smith news. We could have even more value with the bigs. Either way, whoever starts is a good value. And then the backup, whoever's the backup, would be fine. Man, this is crazy. Just so much news. Vanderbilt's now a thing. What I will say, if everyone's in, LeBron, piss nuke, love him. Austin Reeves, a really good play. Rui Hachimura, really good value. Max Christie is solid for value. Whoever starts at the 5. Dalton Connect, gonna get a bit of burn. I don't mind him at that price. There's just a ton to like here on the Lakers tomorrow. And then yeah, if we get Dorian out, just better for the bigs. Rui Hachimura, really good. And then if we get LeBron out, you're going to want to load up on these Lakers. Reeves, Max Christie, the bigs, Dalton Connect would look fantastic. Rui, did I say? I would assume they're going to try to keep it easy on Vanderbilt's minutes of late, but you're definitely going to need some Lakers tomorrow. It's just a matter of how many, depending on LeBron and Dorian Finney-Smith news, and I'll make updates when we do get that news. Moving on to Washington. So Sarr was out for the game tonight. I would still expect Brogdon to be out for this game, so we'll go over it that way. Obviously, if Brogdon is in, that's going to hurt like Bob Carrington. It's going to hurt Keyshawn George. It's going to hurt Jordan Poole. It's going to basically make this team kind of unplayable for me outside of like Kyle Kuzma and Sarr if he plays, or Jonas Valanciunas if he doesn't. Cool Ball doesn't really change for me too much. Will just hurt the value. But yeah, if we get everyone out once again, I don't care what happened tonight. I still think Jonas Valanciunas is going to be a great play once again here. Had a really bad game tonight, plus the blowout was chalky. I'm fine going right back there. He'll be a great value. Kyle Kuzma at 6.4K. His production has just been so up and down of late. If he's somewhat popular tomorrow, I'm fine looking elsewhere, but if he's low owned, I don't mind it just because of the ceiling. Jordan Poole, guards up against the Lakers, haven't really been as big of a thing this year as it has in recent years, but still a fine spot if they're going to keep this game close, pending LeBron news. I'm sure the spread's pretty even here. Should be a competitive game. Like his ceiling, I think I'm mainly looking to like the top two guys, and then if Sarr's out, like Jonas quite a bit once again here. And then yeah, like if you want to go to like Bob Carrington, Keyshawn George, I think they look relatively similar to me. They've been somewhat popular past couple slates. I think they're fine values, but if they're like chalkier, I think I'm okay fading. The Cooley's just very, very safe. He's going to play big minutes. I don't really have strong takes. He'll probably project somewhat decent tomorrow due to the price point. And yeah, I think that's it. Nothing amazing here. I think my main interest is like Jordan Poole, Kuzma. Don't mind the values and like Cool Bally, and wait for the big news there. Trae Young is probable for tomorrow. Really bad matchup going up against Cleveland here. Clint Capella is going to be out for this game going up against the Cavs. So and Bogey, I mean, he's just, I don't know what's going on with him. Is he out of the rotation? That personal tag just doesn't make sense because he was at the game and didn't play. It just makes no sense to me. But you're going to have to play a Kongu a ton of minutes tomorrow. I don't see how you can't play a Kongu all the minutes he can handle tomorrow. Now, he is 7K, which doesn't make him an amazing option. I still think he's firmly in play, just because I think he's going to have to play a ton. Assuming Cleveland doesn't rest anyone, which I think they're going to tomorrow. Trae Young at 9.8K, I think is fine. Looking at the spend ups on the slate, we just don't have any. Obviously, LeBron plays, he's the priority, but like I think I prefer Ant point per dollar. I think I prefer even like those Orlando guys. They're off limits. Possibly Austin Reeves, Donovan Mitchell in a fantastic spot. So not my favorite spend up, but I'm perfectly okay with the sub 10K Trae. Dyson overpriced for my liking. A Congo we already went over. DeAndre Hunter at 6.2K, playing a ton of minutes. Really shooting the ball really, really well, I believe. Or he was like for a week stretch. Kind of indifferent here with the price point. I think he's more at the price where he should be. Not going to project great for me. Same with like Vic Krejci. With Capella out, you should see a bit more like Larry Nance. I'm expecting starters to be Dyson Daniels, Trae Young, and Yeka Kongu, Vic Krejci, and Rishisher. Not too interested in Rishisher, but he is playable for value at 4-1. Keaton Wallace should remain in the rotation with no Bogdanovich. He's priced right though. I don't think I'm going to get to much else. I think Larry Nance is intriguing at 4.5K with no Capella. He should get a bit more run. I think that's fine. And yeah, nothing crazy for Atlanta to me personally. Messaging me, guys. Moving on to Cleveland. So, as I hinted, I do think we're going to see some of these Cleveland guys rest. They've played like 4 games in like 6 games, or in like 6 days. They're on a back-to-back. They're going up against Atlanta. I don't think they need everyone here. I feel like we're going to see some screwy. I feel like we're going to see some of these guys rest tomorrow. Garland not included now. I would suspect Garland plays. Kenny Atkinson has been really vocal about this this trip that they've been on, really tiring their main guys out. So I would be shocked if everyone played tomorrow. I would be shocked. This is an early game, so we'll get that news. But if we get everyone in, I mean, Donovan Mitchell in a fantastic spot. They were kind of limiting their minutes tonight because they were up bigger. But if we get full burn from him, I think that's far too cheap in this matchup. Darius Garland, he should be on full rest. He'd probably be my favorite at 7-6. I don't see why he wouldn't play normal minutes tomorrow off rest. So really like Garland. I think the bigs are just fine. Max Strus, if we get like Dean Wade, Karis LeVert, Sam Merrill remaining out, Max Strus, we could see him rest. He hasn't gotten any rest. He's played every game since coming back and played big minutes tonight. But if we get him full go with those guys out, I like Strus for value. Obviously, if we get like Donovan Mitchell out or Darius Garland once again out, Ty Jerome becomes a must play. And then Craig Porter Jr. would be intriguing. Jalen Tyson started tonight. If we get the same situation, he'd be a good value. So it's really just a wait and see approach for me. But I feel like we're gonna have some players resting. I feel like you're probably gonna need some Cleveland tomorrow. If we get like Karis LeVert in and we get like Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, one of them resting, Karis LeVert would be a great play. If we get Sam Merrill in, I think they could keep it easy on like Max Struess's minutes. So it's just really hard to say right now. I'll make updates when we do get the news tomorrow. Naz Reid sat the game tonight. That's just rest. I feel like he'll probably be back tomorrow, but we'll go over it both ways. If we get Naz out again, it's going to be solidify the minutes for Rudy Gobert. I would love Rudy Gobert tomorrow. I think Randall would be a fantastic play. I love Anthony Edwards. Nickeil Alexander-Walker would be a good value. Mike Conley as well. Just with no Naz, they have to play these guys a ton of minutes and not probably be in the rotation. So, yeah, it would be a ton to like here if no Naz. If we get Naz in, though, I still love a lot. I love Anthony Edwards at 9.5K. Utah can't stop anything. I think Julius Randle's fantastic. Rudy Gobert I really like, even if Naz plays. McDaniel's more so priced right for me. Naz, if he plays, I feel like is priced right, but man, we've seen him take minutes from Randle and Gobert. He can nuke this spot. I don't mind that. Nickeil playable, and then Mike Conley is fine. More so the values would take a hit with Naz back. Moving on to Utah, Walker Kessler and John Collins are both questionable. If they're out, I would suspect starters would just be Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Isaiah Collier, Drew Eubanks, and Micah Potter would be my guess. Potter don't love at that price, especially with Markkanen back. We'll see. They could change it up as well. But I believe the last game with Markkanen, it was Potter. I was looking at rotations. Yeah, it was. Same situation. It was Potter who started. I don't know if he'd be an amazing play for me. Really bad matchup here going up against Minnesota, so I'm not really too into these guys. I can't get to like Key off the bench. Clarkson should play 20, 25 minutes. Nah. Collier would probably be my favorite play at 5.5K. His on-ball role is just absolutely elite right now. His potentials are through the roof, and he's playing around 30 minutes. He'd probably be my favorite play here. Drew Eubanks as well. I think they need him to play a decent amount. And then if we get like Walker Kessler, John Collins in, then I'm not excited about really anything here. All right, Houston. Sengun is questionable. This is going to be a headache. No Jabari Smith. In times past, I would suspect Steven Adams probably sits tomorrow. In times past, they just played Jabari Smith at the 5. But if we get like Jabari out, Sengun out, Steven Adams out, I mean, they have no real other options. Like Jeff Green, they'll probably start Jeff Green, and then you'll probably see some Jock Landale. Jeff Green would be playable. Jock Landale, I would think, would get a decent amount of run. He'd look like a good value. Unless they could go small, they could play like some Tari at the 5, I suppose. I'd like to see like what sites would have for their minutes tomorrow. Yeah, and then if Sengun's out, Tari Eason at 5-1 will probably get a lot more run. Dylan Brooks is fine. Cam Whitmore at 4K. With Tari Eason back takes a hit. And then, yeah, keep it on the Sengun news. The bigs would like quite a bit. And then Amen would get a big bump. I already like Amen on this slate. He'd be even better. Jalen Green's in a really good spot. Memphis, they give up a ton of three-point shooting. That's Jalen Green's music. So he's in a great spot. So Jalen Green, probably my favorite. And then if we get, Sengun in, I think Sengun's just fine. I think Amen, very, very safe. Jalen Green, probably still my favorite outside of Amen. Not really too interested in Fred VanVleet. And then the values would take a hit as well. Moving on to Memphis, really bad spot for everyone here. So like Zach Edey at 4.7K. I believe he didn't start the second half last game. Don't love it. The values, Jalen Wells, I'm not going to play Wells. Luke Kennard, he's been playing around 20 minutes. He's been really good of late. Probably plays low to mid 20s minutes. I think it's okay. Desmond Bane at 7.7, priced right. Jaren probably my favorite play here at 7.8K. Same with John Morant. Probably the top two guys I think look like good point per dollar plays to me, but nothing amazing here. I'm definitely not going to play this value. All right, moving on to Orlando. Suggs, really important news here. If he's out, I mean, looks like they're off their limits. I believe this game went into overtime, double overtime, but looks like Franz and Paolo are going to be off their limits. So, like, if they're off their limits, they are not priced right for their roles with no Jalen Suggs. So if we get normal burn from Paolo and Franz, I really like both. Cole Anthony, I can't play at that price point. Goga's back, so that's going to hurt Wendell Carter Jr. Anthony Black would start for Suggs. I think he'd be a decent point per dollar play, but would lose usage with Paolo and Franz back. I'm not going to get to this other value as well. Isaac will takes a bit of a hit with Goga back as well. And then if we get Suggs in, still have interest in Paolo and Franz, would just really be out on Anthony Black and the bigs. All right, really bad spot here for Portland. Jeremy Grant is questionable. Portland's running a really tight rotation of late. I know it's a really bad matchup, but I have no issue with any of these guys. They ran basically a 7-man rotation once Jeremy Grant went down. So If you want to play any of these guys, Ayton played 19 first half minutes. I mean, I have no issue with it at all. If you want to play Ayton, if you want to play Denny, if you want to play Simons, if you want to play Shaden Sharp, I kind of like Sharp at 5'3", especially if Grant's out. He's just going to have to play big minutes off the bench. If I had to rank them, I'd go, probably go Sharp 1 if Grant's out. Sharp, Denny, Ayton, Simons, I think I would rank them if Grant's out, and then they might insert like a Chris Murray back into the rotation potentially. But they ran a really tight rotation last game. And then if Grant's in, I don't like anything. You can take darts on like Denny. He's been incredible of late. Ayton won't change. He'll still play big minutes. Sharp, 25 to 30 minutes off the bench. Like Kamaro's priced right, Scoot's priced right. There wouldn't be anything here for me. So that's gonna wrap it up for the slate, guys. Hope you guys had a great night, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.